Hey there. So next up, we're going to do Tapotement, which is another technique of Swedish massage, and it involves tapping. So Tapotement, think tapping. This can be done in a variety of ways. Some folks enjoy tapping using fingertips. It might feel better for other folks to do kind of like a chop with the kind of blade edge of your hands. Maybe try out what kind of like a cupped motion with your hands feel like. That's going to be more noisy. Sorry, my cat just made everything wiggle. And you're kind of getting a little bit more surface area with the cup because all like this part of the hand and all the way around is like hitting. Maybe just flat hand, more kind of like a slap motion, might also feel better. Like some folks like more surface area, how that feels. Also, maybe try out some soft fists. I often like the side of the soft fist that is still the blade edge but curled. So it can be a little more thuddy if that feels better. I love using Tapotement on my legs, like my thighs especially when my quads just feel like they're all glued together and I can't really separate them from my IT bands or the back of the leg, the hamstrings, everything. It just feels like it's all glued together and it's like one big muscle. Like the Tapotement is ideally for stimulation, like getting everything flowing and moving and stimulated. I often find it's a great way to also just kind of separate things, like we've been talking about with other techniques. Really get some separation between the muscles. We're creating some space, getting things warmed up. And try to just find a rhythm, get your core engaged, get your upper body engaged, see what you like. You can do this, on the back of your calves too, on your arms. The areas to avoid. We don't want to be doing this on kidneys, we don't want to be doing this on abdomen. It does not feel good on bone. So trying to avoid your bones when you're doing that, if my pecs feel really tight and this feels nice, I'm not gonna hammer along my collarbone or my sternum. I'm gonna do that, up to the edges of the bone. This is not for everyone. Some folks will love this, some folks will hate it. It can, even though it's fast and can be kind of intense, especially if you get into a flow or a rhythm on yourself or someone else. For some folks, it can be really soothing. Maybe just the rhythmic nature of it, and maybe for me, it helps me kind of get out of my head and just get into the vibration that I'm then feeling that's happening. Another important thing for this one, protect your fingers, protect your hands. What I mean by that is we're not waving. We're not waving in any direction. We're keeping an aligned wrist, an aligned hand, an aligned elbow. Everything is stacked. I'm not doing this. Not waving back and forth. Yeah, and you can try out the back side of your hands too and see if that's nice. Sometimes I do kind of a bent knuckle type movement too. But again, keep those wrists straight. All right. Well, we're down to our final Swedish massage technique. The last video will be coming up, so stay tuned for that release.